think it's time to begin my unboxing of the new Leica SL3 reporter. And so let's take this knife out. Wesson Swedish grandpa knife. Let's just move some of these things off to the side. And here we go. Let us begin this unboxing. Super excited for this. The last SL series, the SL2, they had a reporter edition, but it was the SL2S, and so this is my preferred version, which is the non-S version. Let's just move this over here to protect everything. Alright, so here is the inner box, and let's just move some things out of the way. This is my SL2 that I've been using for the past year and a bit, I think. This is from Camera West on a long-term loan, and I've had a really good time shooting with this. I mean, I still shoot with the SL2, but now I have an opportunity to shoot with an SL3, but the reporter edition. And this is the new M-EV1. So I do have, the latest M series camera from Leica, and it's nice to see this reporter edition as well. But I also have my M10R, and I have my older gear and my film cameras, and so I enjoy all, both new and old, but super excited for this here. So SL3 reporter, let's start the unboxing. And here we go. So the sleeve comes off here, and I guess it just kind of comes off this way. Alrighty, look at that, and it makes sense. This comes laying down instead of standing up. A couple things we'll notice here, so let's just take this out of the box. Let's just, let's just look inside the box. So this is here. Okay, I'm going to take a look at it a little bit later, but so far super stealthy, right? Not the white text, but black on this this dark green colorway versus the Safari, which is a little bit brighter. But as well, there's no red dot. So this is kind of like the P model for the Leica M's, where it's meant for professionals. So it's a little bit more stealthy right here. But let's see what else you get in the box. Let's leave this off to the side here. Alright, this comes open. As I mentioned, way more cardboard, which is good. Instead of using styrofoam and plastics, always have the signature of the person who packed it and inspected it. And so that's great, so you can trace back if there was a problem. They'll know who had done it. And then in here, you get some literature, and you get a printed manual, a quick starter guide, which is awesome. I love it when they have printed manuals. Thank you, Leica, for that. And then we have two boxes in here. One is the very expensive USB C to C. This is both data. This is, I guess it's kind of like a Thunderbolt or USB 4 cable. I'm not sure the official name, but these aren't cheap. Even if you go to Amazon or Apple and you get the proper, so high throughput for both charging as well as for data transfer. And on the other side here, we have the latest, greatest battery here. And you have the nice foam strap with the Leica logo, but you guys know I'll just put on my own strap, so we'll leave that in here. Alrighty, I think that's it. And those of you that have seen the SL series, you guys know you click that and the battery still doesn't come out, right? And you gotta click it again a second time. Finally, the battery comes out like this. Right here, and it is backwards compatible to the previous version. This is a lower voltage, and so if you do put this in here, it does give you a warning to tell you that certain features won't work, but the higher capacity battery can also fit into the older SL series camera bodies as well, and so they're interchangeable, but stick to the higher capacity battery when you use a newer camera. So let's take a look. So this is the SL2, as I mentioned. This is the older version, but the SL3 is basically the same in terms of, like, it has the red dot, it has the white script, and then the S version always had the blacked out script, and so having this blacked out is really nice. But as well, you have this heavy duty paint finish. They say it's more rugged, which is awesome. And as well, you have this, they don't call it Kevlar this time, they call it Amarid, I guess. The Kevlar is a DuPont trademark name for this finish. And so it is basically Kevlar, but not branded as such. So it's supposed to be tougher. It does patina It does kind of get fuzzy over time, so some people don't like it, but it has a cool look. Definitely a lot cooler than the standard finish here. It's more rubberized, and this has a bit more of an organic feel to it. You can see the dials here are black on this green, which is also really nice. And this is all blacked out as well. I think on the SL3, these are all silvered out right here. All the buttons here are all silver. But this is all blacked out here, so it definitely looks really stealthy. The lugs here, the slotted lugs, which I'm not a huge fan of on the SL, and they stick out. The original SL actually was in the body, so at least it was smooth. So you have to use the slotted lug kind of straps instead of the rings. I've seen some people put rings on here, Pat Domingo, but I don't recommend doing that. And so we'll figure out which strap. You gotta use the Peak Design anchors, right? And then you could put whatever straps you want, and you could take them on and off quickly. And that's usually what I do with the SL. It's just use the Peak Design straps and then put Wotancraft leather straps around my neck, or I can use any of the coupe straps with the belt style, the slotted lug style straps. But the way I'm going to use this is basically the same way. I mean, I do have right here is the 35 Summicron Apo, the SL version, and it is a chonker. It's like more than twice the size and weight of the M mount version, but of course you do get autofocus with this, and that's the beauty of shooting with an SL. So let's compare these two. Very similar sensors. They're not exactly the same, of course, because this has both contrast and as well as on-sensor phase detect autofocus on this body, where here obviously there's no autofocus, so you wouldn't have any autofocus sensors on the sensor itself. But both 60 megapixels, both have the technology of being able to shoot 60, 36, or 18 megapixels, and it pixel bins. And so if you don't want 60 megapixels, you can't shoot at a lower one. So 36, you get better dynamic range and higher ISO performance on it. And both these are obviously EVFs, but as you can see, the size of the EVF on the SL series, it's much bigger. You get a much larger eye relief, and so you're gonna get better EVF performance on something like an SL versus even on something like a Q series or this MEV1. But of course you do gain size and weight, right? I mean, look how compact this camera is. It also has internal memory, right? 64 gigabytes of internal memory. This doesn't have internal memory, but it does have an advantage even over the SL2, which is it has the CF, the Express card, which I have here. I don't think Per Gear makes them anymore, but I mean, the throughput on the CF Express B-type cards are so fast that price performance, you're better off going with these Express. So this is a 1 terabyte card, and it's showing at 1600 read, 1300 write. You're not gonna get SD cards that fast. So it just fits inside here like this. So bang, I have 1 terabyte, and I still have a second SD card slot. And so you have dual card slot here, where you only have a single with the second internal. You also get IBIS on this. You also get an articulating screen. So these are two very different types of cameras. If you need video, you need autofocus, you need dual card slot, weather sealing on this. This is, of course, both these cameras are Pro Tools. All these cameras are Pro Tools, but something like this is just a different style of photography. And I could definitely feel, I haven't held an SL3 for a while, but compared to an SL2, they did do their best to make this a little bit smaller and a little bit lighter. You do kind of lose a bit of the shutter performance because this here has 1/250th of a second flash sync speed. This is only 1/200th. Also, you have a little bit better image stabilization on the SL2 versus the SL3, but what you do gain is a smaller size. You do gain the articulating screen, you gain the extra dial here, you have the latest processor, you have better video features, better autofocus features with the on-sensor phase detect, and so definitely is an upgrade. And having the reporter in the non-S version. So the SL2S is awesome, but it's really meant for those that are focused on hybrid type work, so both video and stills. The standard SL2, the standard SL3 can obviously still shoot video, but it's not video centric, where the S series is more about video. And so I'm happy that there is an SL3 reporter instead of an SL3S reporter. So super happy about this. And so for now, I'm going to be switching from the SL2, which I love, and switch over to the SL3 for now, the reporter version, and I'm actually taking this with me to Hong Kong. And so I'm going to be in Hong Kong for just about 2 weeks, and I'm going in a week. And this is going to be my main digital camera in Hong Kong. Obviously, I'm going to be using the Light Lens Lab adapter with the helicoid so that I can do close focus. So this is my favorite 28 Summicron with the square hood on here. So I'm going to switch. In fact, let's just do that right now. We take this off, put this on here. I mean, look at that size of that sensor. Isn't that awesome? Look at that sensor. Put this on here. Bada bing. This is what this looks like here with the 28 Summicron. And I wish this was black, the adapter, but it's silver. But hey, silver and green doesn't look too bad, right? Or, of course, I can still switch over and use something like the 35 Apo. Now, to me, I'm not a 35 shooter, but if I want like one of the best 35mm lenses out there, the M version, I like the M version better than the SL version, but this is still a really good lens and it will destroy most other 35mm lenses from other manufacturers, and it's autofocused, and you get phase detect on the SL3 and the SL3S, and so this is also a really great, if you're a 35 shooter and you want like ultimate 35, this is what you get, right? And they do have other Apple lenses, the 50, the 75, the 90. I hope in the future they're going to have 135 and they're going to have 24. There is a 28, but again, it's too big. I'd rather just shoot with my M mount lens right here. And there is a 21, I think, but it's also big. Or maybe they will have a 21. I'm not sure. This one here, they're all about the same size. And so you can see here, looks fantastic. But while I'm in Hong Kong, I think this is it right here. To me, a 28 in Hong Kong is like the average 50, because it's such a dense city. I wouldn't go more than more narrow than a 35, other than if I know for sure I'll be doing maybe some modeling type pictures or sort of environmental portraiture, then maybe I'll go 35, but I'm probably going to shoot with an M mount 35 and not with this. But we'll see. We'll see if I decide to take this with me. But this is it right here. What do you think? And in honor of the reporter, obviously I'm wearing my Coupe big pocket shirt that you guys have seen me wear all over Europe. And as well, I have my Serica 5303, the diver's watch here. Green is my favorite color, so having a green camera is awesome. And I'd also like to thank my friends, both Billy and Danny over at All Good Friend Camera in Hong Kong that sent this to me expedited. So I think it's here, like B&H, they don't even have it in stock. So they sent it over from Hong Kong. So go check out All Good Friend. I'll put links down below to their website as well as their Facebook. And they deal with used as well as new cameras. And I'm going to be meeting up with them in Hong Kong and borrowing some gear. But they sent this out and said, Take, you can do an unboxing. You can shoot with it. And if you like it, you can keep it. If not, you can just ship it back. And so I'm going to physically take it back to them and tell them, I think I'm going to keep this thing right here. And so thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, but I was there at Leica for the SL3 launch. And so I have a launch video. I was there with Julian Falk of Fourth Dimension Pictures. And as well, I've done a couple of videos where I'm comparing the SL3 to the SL2 and saying like bang for your buck, the SL2 is an amazing camera. Again, this is from my friends over at Camera West. So SL2S, SL2, fantastic deal. But if you want the latest and the greatest, you have it right here, the Leica SL3 reporter. And so again, any questions down below, but I'm gonna have a great time with this in Hong Kong. Till then, we'll talk to you soon. Oh, always forget to do this. It's always fun to watch the intro video here. Look at that. I love it. Got like a little show here before you. Look at that. Nice SL3. Happy shooting.